Hello, welcome, round number 4, one of my dreaded tracks. We're here in China, track I do not get along with, and we're here looking into my Q2 lap. Of course, not much issues getting into Q2. This Q2 will be where I strand, unless I get a much better car. So here we go into that first long, winding first corner, which just gets tighter and tighter as you go on. Now, a lot of problems on the rear end. I probably should have added a bit more rear wing in hindsight, because I basically use a setup, general online setup for the single player car. Of course, the Toro Rosso is not nearly that good. Very, very slippery and slidey. Have to go down to 6 and lift actually to keep the keep the corner. Also go too wide and I compromise the other corner coming after that. So we're coming onto the long straight with the most annoying corner, at least for this car. Traction wise, it's a little bit like the last corner in Melbourne. The AI are very quick through here, and I have to wait and wait and wait until I can fully power down. So, but this is the point where I can fully put my foot down without losing the back end. And this is just on live fuel. On higher fuel is actually worse. Now here you see time is already over. I already have set the time as in 13th place, which is about a second difference to catch up between me and Felipe Massa in 10th. So it's probably not going to happen, but I was going for it. Very try and get slowly and smoothly through that corner and put the power down on and get a nice exit. And a 1:42.5, so I improved half a second on my first hot lap and actually snatched 12th place from Button, but that's about as far as the Toro Rosso can take me, and I think it's another decent distance between me and Vern. I actually put the preview winner too small there we go. So he has a 43.2, so this is a significant gap again between me and my teammate in qualifying, so it's 4-0 in the qualifying battle. So that's another target. I think I've reached them all so far. You can see the imported 2013 texture not quite transferring well to 2014, as the layout has been changed a bit, but you know, I don't care when it looks well enough. So there you go, Lewis Hamilton has got pole ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, and then Rosberg in 3rd, and then Vettel in 4th, then Bottas, good for the Williams, in 5th, Fernando Alonso in 6th place, next in front of, I think next to, is he next to? No, he's not next to. He's in front of Nico Hülkenberg, and Nico Hülkenberg was next to Felipe Massa. And then Magnussen rounds up the top 10. So nothing out of the ordinary for the rest of the grid. Here I'm looking at the strategy. And I think I'm gonna keep it pretty much default. I'm probably gonna have to wing it, since you know, if you go into the pit lane at the same lap as the AI cars do, you're boned. So if tire wear is pretty bad, I probably best off lapping or stopping in lap 7. If they're good, I can keep going, but Toro Rosso is not having the greatest tire wear, so I'm probably gonna have to change my strategy. If it works, I'm going for an option prime run, but we'll see how it pans out during the race. So we're off to the grid, and off to what's probably going to be another poor start. I had a good start in a league race, the Austrian Grand Prix, I should say. There we go, there's Lewis in 1st place. There's me, and in 14th, parked right behind me, is Jean-Ric. And the thing I noticed actually in the races, we have pretty much a similar race pace today, but because I can gain so much. Here comes Vern on the right. This is a long sweeping corner, and if I can manage to squeeze in on the inside, which I do, one car over the grass, but it's still legit. And then sneak through everybody, and more on the inside. Vettel, Hamilton. There's enough grip in the first lap with my tyres. Oh, a little bit of snap of oversteer. Hamilton comes past Vettel next to me. He backs off early, and Hamilton does a little weird thing. I may have tapped him a little bit, I have no idea. So it's going to be fun in this video. Not really fun, it was more frustrating for me to look into my rear view mirrors, because there's always going to be a large pack of trains behind me. So far it's only 3 cars, but there's going to be more. Ooh, there you go, that's the problem I have with this car. Very, very unstable on this track. And onto the main straight. See, you can tell I have to lift off there, even half throttling, to keep the car going straight, not lose the backhand. And here they already come. This is pretty much going to be most of the race. I can slightly tell you in advance that this is you're going to see a lot of footage of the straight, because that's pretty much where the action happens. That's where I have to really keep them behind me. On the straight, get as best exit as I can to compensate, but it's so difficult in this car. So here you go, lap 2. Lewis is always past me. They got so much more grip through there. And the good thing is I can now feed off his slipstream, which I do no DRS yet, of course, in this lap. And I'm next to him. I can match the speed once I get up the speed. Go down the first even to make the corner. Leave room on the outside for Lewis, and I'm back into third. Another snap of oversteer. Like Rosberg and Ricciardo are long gone. They're going to be fighting for the win between themselves, which means Rosberg has a very good chance to make it 4 wins in a row. Ooh. And I think Vettel there just overtakes Hamilton on the inside there. Not sure what Hamilton will try to do. Even this happened. Even on slow speed, the car just goes. Back end just goes. So at the end of lap 3, rinse and repeat. Here we go again. And we got the slightly slower Red Bull. Not the high and top speed. Dive right into his gearbox again, getting dragged along. Of course, the 3 guys behind me keep shuffling positions a lot because of the reasons. And this time Vettel is too far ahead, which I'll break everybody, but I can't slot back into 4th behind him. I'm down 1 position, so this is the only way I can get points. So I should try to keep them behind me as best as I can. As you can see, a lot of problems, and how far he gets ahead of me. Like 3 seconds, that's how much slower I am than these guys at the moment, per lap. Now we have the Mercedes engine, the Williams, our Bottas coming up behind. I often use high mix to do on the straight just to defend. Force him a little bit wide as I lose the car a bit, but no contact. And we survived again for now. There is the Williams coming again.
Vettel's just posted the fastest lap of the race.
And he loses the position to Hamilton. He's gonna make a hell of an overtake. I lose the car again. Run a bit wide, and with superior grip, zip. There goes the Mercedes.
Okay, we've lost a position. Keep close, and maybe we can take it back.
So that's another position down. Hamilton, of course, is already 11 seconds. 2 laps, so that's, yeah, I'm significantly slower. So of course tire-wise is going to be always overly massive for me. I'm struggling so much for grip. I just ask more of the tires. There comes Bottas, now opens his wing, of course, then speeds on too far. Alonso comes with him on the left side, and even Hülkenberg takes a peek. I slot in behind Bottas on the braking zone. But I will direct myself into the pit lane. There we go, go to lean mix. I always brake pretty early here because braking full on this stretch of tarmac will lock your tires every bloody time. So, into the limiter. Of course, the AI takes control of the wheel now. It allows me to take a sip of my drink, which I usually have in the race and actually have in front of me as I'm commenting at the moment. So, there you go. It's pretty much a default time, 3.7, 3.6. And I get out ahead of the back markers, so that's good. Get out in clean air. Not having to bother. Ooh, go a little bit wide and lose the rear as I exit the pit lane, but it's all fine. So, a little bit later, 2 laps later, lap 9, we have Hülkenberg. Another Merc power car just powering past me. There's nothing I can do. He's on the option tyres, I'm on the hard tyres, the primes, white wall tyres. And here we go. That happens sometimes. Lost connection to the F1 2014 game server. I keep that in there sometimes. So it's, you know, another thing that tends to happen. So I don't think it's actually necessarily Cobmal's problem, but more of a Steam issue. So keep an eye on the mirrors. There's a button on the left-hand mirror. He's there, he's still there, he's moving to the right, and he's gone. He slows down. What's going on? It's Alonso now. In a few seconds you will see. There you go, 21. Probably something of an engine failure of the sort. I didn't see any smoke, maybe it's simply an electronics failure, but regardless, button is out of the race. Allowing me a little bit of safety for that game. And there you go, the game's back. Not too bad. So I'm really glad this happens during a single player game. A single player race I should say, rather than a multiplayer race, because if it wasn't during multiplayer I would have been kicked out of the race, which would be a waste of a second place. It stinks. Of course, having no grip at all. Go to a rich mix. Catching Alonso in the slipstream. Can I get the position back? I think I do. I'm close enough. A little bit later. Make the corner just about. And I can hold on to 7th for the moment. So, lap 17 was my projected pit stop after the change in strategy. Just 10 laps and then 11 laps. Another set of primes, because I don't think I would have made them last long enough. I realized that quickly enough. Making these run tires last. But I did decide to stretch it. One more lap, Alonso goes in. Perez stays with me, I believe. There he comes. There's another Ferrari, which is I think Kimi, which has the same number, ironically, as Raikkonen, as Alonso. There you go, 3 wide. A little bit ballsy in the middle, but they come out ahead of him. Pretty much where I want to be. They are both on the harder tyres. They're not stopping, which is good for me, which means I won't have any AI cars blocking me in the pit lane. However, Vern is actually caught up quite a bit, as you can see. He's right with me in the pit lane, actually shoots himself in the foot, because with me boxing first, he's gonna have to wait. And feel pretty much safe that I will win the team battle here again. But I was mostly just wondering if I could get some points in this race. I think that's Alonso passing me now on the left side of the track. There he goes. So that's the gap that he was able to pull. Pitting 1 lap early, of course. He is basically OP, or every car was OP. This car is generally not able, on pure race pace, to get into. Look how much I'm struggling to get the power down with this car. No rear grip. Take a bit of a double move, then I position myself a little bit slightly hard, try to get as close to the ridge line as possible. So he goes past me, close enough that I can outbrake him again into the hairpin. Penultimate corner hairpin. So now we're on the last lap. Nothing really happened about doing the same thing over and over again. So I can show you every time that happens, but it'll get a little bit boring. I'm showing you that move a lot more. Oh, there we go. There goes the rear again. No surprise there. Nico finishes for his fourth win in a row, so an impressive streak by the AI German. I really thinks he wish he had that kind of season this year over his rival Lewis. Of course, won the title in Bahrain. So one more lap. Even putting a little bit of power on makes the car just go at this point. Tyre wave's just awful. You can see the orange dot of Vern. So he hasn't really got any closer. So yeah, we are matching race pace in that sense. Which means if these guys would have passed me, I would have been well at the points. You see 2 cars, 3 cars in the mirrors, 4 cars in the mirrors. I try to position my car as quickly as I can by... You can sometimes in some tracks, like you see, he wants to go to the left, even though there's not quite the room. And I don't really move, maybe a little bit, but he tries and he actually thinks loses position, 1 or 2 positions even, at least to Perez. She was checking in the mirrors, yes, he lost the position to Perez, kept the Magnussen behind him though, and I managed to finish up in 8th place, get 4 points out of a track I dislike, and we're going to 2 more tracks I won't be very good at. Catalonia is next, and after that it's the street circuit of Monaco. So there you go, race results. Nico was 1, Lewis Hamilton managed to climb back to 2nd place, only 9 seconds behind, so he had very good pace. And it's Ricciardo in 3rd, Vettel in 4th, Nico Hülkenberg in 5th. Basically all the guys had passed me, and Alonso managed to pull like more than, what was it, 25 seconds away from me, approximately, in 10 laps or so. 10 or 9 laps, if you would, yeah, 10 laps basically. So that's how much quicker they are than me. Vern is in 13th, some 10 seconds behind me. And from Pesta Maldonado down, everybody's a lap behind, and of course you got the 1 DNF of Jensen Button. So far I'm in 10th, got 11 points. Look how far Nico is ahead of him, already got a race win ahead of Lewis. Of course I'm not going to be fighting for anything, I'm just going to get as much points as I can. And my goal, I'm going to actually try and get into the Red Bull team if possible within 1 season. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but I have to do my absolute best to get there. No points for Jensen, no points for Felipe, which is kind of odd, you think about it. Especially for Felipe, so the Air Williams not that great. So, see you guys next time out, where we will drive in Catalonia, Spain, and I think that's probably going to be rain during that race, so that's going to be awful.